Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I would like to share something with you that I feel that is really heavy on me. I feel God is really rushing me to just put it out there. And so I feel like there's somebody out there that needs to hear this. So I'm going to be obedient and just share. So a couple of days ago, I was doing something, you know how you're just casually doing something and then just God will show you something or speak to you. And usually, he speaks to me in a lot of ways. It could be numbers, it could be just a word, I mean, anything. And so I was looking at something and I saw the number 31 and it kind of like jumped out at me. So I was like, huh. And then later on in the day, I was trying to study and I grabbed a hold of my study book for numbers, which is, it's called The Biblical Mathematics of, and it's by Ed Vallo. So yeah, I study that book along with what I'm reading in the Bible. And so as soon as I opened up that book, I mean, it went straight to 31 and it just jumped out again. So what 31 means is offspring. And it's kind of funny how God is pushing me to do this video today, being the 31st. So there's definitely something there, very urgent. Um, so I was, going about my business or whatever, and then all of a sudden, like I started just feeling God like consistently speaking to me about babies, you know, um, just a lot of abortion going on, a lot of things that are just aimed towards the babies, and of course, in other ways, he was showing me what blessings they are. You know, I was watching something and it kind of just like struck me kind of weird. But when God talks, he talks. So I was watching this show and it was showing, it's a different culture. But what they do with the umbilical cord after, it's cut off the baby is that they go and bury it by a place of where they want their kid to prosper. This is like symbolic for them, kind of prophesying their life into success or whatever it is, right? And then, um, it's an old novela, it's an old show. So, and then all of a sudden, I watched a YouTube video and and it's very recent. And it's funny that this couple was waiting forever to have their own baby. Finally, they gave forth a child, and the I think they say the placenta. They used the placenta and they buried it by some trees. Somehow that's symbolic, you know. And I was like thinking to myself, what? Like, how am I seeing both of these things in the same day? That's just crazy. And then I mean, there's so many things that just God was just bringing to my attention that had to do everything that had to do with babies. So I was like, okay, God. So I started to, meditate and say, okay, God, what do you want me to know? What do you want me to, do about all this information? And so he told me to make this video, that there was somebody out there, a lot of people out there that need to hear this. Um, there's just so much lies around all this abortion and I want to share, my own testimony, you know, even when I was a kid, even when before I was born. Um, there's something spiritual when a baby's born. It's just so powerful. You never know. You never know. You hear about it with celebrities and everything that their mom, thought about aborting them. And can you imagine if they did get aborted? You know, they would have never seen what a success, what a blessing. I mean, those parents are sitting nice and comfy now because their kids are rich and they're famous, and so many things that we just are ignorant when it comes to not knowing the purpose, that our kids have in this life. And for us to take that away from them is just, you know, so wrong. And I'm not judging anybody if you've had an abortion, if you've had your significant other had an abortion. I mean, it, it's one thing that if you didn't know or whatever, but it's just God wants to just put that out there so boldly because he feels so strongly about this, and I'm just being obedient. I want to share something. Um, so say for example, myself, I can say I've seen God work in my life. My mom, she had me by herself, and it was so crazy the things that she had to go through just to have me. She said that, you know, she was by herself and she was having trouble giving birth to me. And she said that my heartbeat kept dropping. I mean, 3 times, I think it was. So eventually they had to rush her into an emergency C-section because I just wasn't going to make it, right? So she had me, thankfully. I'm alive, I'm here. And she told me that the crazy thing after that, right after she had me, there was a nurse that came up to her and was asking her if she would give me up for adoption. And my mom got so angry, like saying, "How dare you? Like, I just had my baby. Why would you ask me that?" And she said the nurse had attitude. Like, she was mad that she got rejected, that she told her that I wasn't going to give given to her, you know? And I thought that was so weird, you know? So, anyways, um, and then going on from my experience when I had my two daughters, each time I was scared. Each time I didn't feel like I had everything I needed in order to support them. Even the relationships that I was in, they were a little iffy. Even though, I was in them for a long time, but still, you just never feel like you're ready. And I just remember that fear that was being put in me, especially with my first child, because I had her so young. I was like 18, 19 years old. And, I had a sonogram that I had scheduled, and at the same time, the enemy is just, putting all this fear in me, putting all this fear in me. And, I go to the appointment, I find out like I'm 2 months pregnant, and, everybody says, oh, it's just a little tissue, it doesn't have life or whatever they want to say. You could still, abort it and be like conscious free. That's bull crap. So what happened was God definitely was speaking to me that day because he wanted to tell me so badly that my child was important. So just to take all the fear away, and I'm so thankful. What happened was that I went into the to have the sonogram, and as I'm seeing this lady put the little thing on my stomach and showing me on the screen, I see this little figure that was my daughter. And tell me why I saw her legs kicking like crazy. I mean, she was letting me know, Mom, don't do anything stupid pretty much. She was letting me know like I'm alive. I'm here. And when I saw that, I was just like blown away. I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was expecting to just see a little blob, not moving, not doing anything. But for her to be kicking her legs like crazy, I was just like, wow, like mind blown. I was like, I've never heard anything like that before. And so, anyways, I had my baby, obviously. I had both of my daughters. Um, Even when, you know, they were first babies, I mean, that postpartum depression, what they call it just even then it wants you to hurt your baby. And I sit back and I think about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how bad does the enemy have so much hate towards our babies that he wants to kill it in the womb and after? How come he don't tell you to not have sex, or at least without protection? No, but he wants you to kill it. He wants it to be, conceived, and then he wants you to kill it. To me, that's just like crazy, crazy how it's just attacks on the babies, you know. And so I want to say from experience, from my point of view, I mean, I am so blessed to have my kids. They have been a joy to me, even though they're a pain in the butt, yes. They're a pain in the butt and they've cost me a lot of work, but they've helped me grow. They've helped me become the woman that I am today. Um, and just the other day, it's like God was showing me again. I got really sick. I was so weak, I couldn't even walk. I was like, and my daughters helped me. I mean, they were there to serve me food, they were there to help me get up and walk around. I mean, what would I do without these blessings of mine? And I'm just like, God is just like showing me, a lot of these people don't understand. These kids are going to be such blessings to them. They're going to be there for you, especially even when you're sick, when you're old, you ain't got nobody else to love on you, care about you. These kids love you. They're a part of you. They're your blood, your flesh and blood. They love you unconditionally, even if you're not the most perfect parent. Even if you were broke for most of the time, it doesn't matter to them. The importance is that they feel that you love them, that they're valued, you know. So I'm just saying, I mean, God has been really, really pushing me to just get that out there and just tell you guys, do not be fooled by the enemy. There's so much fear around pregnancy, especially in young adults, that is just bad, you know. And I'm not condemning anybody. I know because I've been there. But I'm telling you from experience, I'm so, so glad, so blessed that I went through with my pregnancies. I would not trade anything, any any bad experience that I had, I would do it again 10 times just to know that I have my babies. So, I was studying, I was reading, and I mean, God just kept going boom, 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 just like showing me so many confirmations, so many like tugs to just get this message out, right? So, I opened up another book and bam, right, it went right to Genesis, um, chapter 128, and it says, "Be fruitful," and say the God's not asking you. He's saying this is something that he commands. This is the purpose of you even being here. Not saying everybody's meant to have kids, but I'm saying if you're meant to be married, if you're meant to be, you know, um just blessed with a family. I mean, God says, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and replenish the earth and subdue it." Now, why is the enemy so angry, so scared that he wants you to go against that? Right now, with the world looking as crazy it is, they want you to kill your babies, but then they want to artificially make something that's like a baby, but it's like more like a robot. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. You know, the government has tricked the people. They mess with the radio, the television, any kind of news sources to get people to just get into that mentality. Kill your baby, kill your baby, kill your baby. Why would you want to bring a baby in this economy? I mean, this inflation. I mean, all these things, like so much fear. But right now, I'm telling you, right now, when it's about to be 2023, God is saying, don't kill your baby. There's purpose that I have for your baby. You're going to be so blessed by your baby. You can have anybody leave you in this life, but that child is a blessing and he's a part of you. She's a part of you. You will not regret having that child. And I was just so mind blown. I was just so, God was showing me all these things and he was just like, "Look, remember, in the Bible when Pharaoh wanted so badly, he heard the prophecy that Moses was going to come and he was going to set the people free. He was going to be a big deal. Well, what did he do? He got so scared and so threatened with his pride because he didn't want nobody to come over him. And what did he do? He had all the babies killed, all the boys. And it's the same thing right now. The pharaoh of this world is trying to get you to kill your babies. Sadly, it's using even the parents, calling it pro-choice, women's rights. I mean, it's ignorance. Ignorance. Because if you knew the spiritual battle behind that, the way that the enemy is masking it, you would say, "Oh my gosh." The Pharaoh had even told the midwives, as you're, helping that woman give that baby, if you see a boy, kill it. Not too long ago, I saw on the news they were looking for a nurse, that she became a nurse just so she can work in the baby area, and she was purposely killing the babies. They started seeing the pattern that a lot of people were upset because their babies were dying, and they found out it's the lady, it's the so-called nurse. I mean, these biblical times, they're right now. Another thing that, you know, I feel God is saying is just like, why do you think that the enemy is so pressing on you to get rid of your baby? Why is he so scared? Why is he so threatened? If your baby was nobody, why would he be telling you to give it an abortion? That's all spiritual battle. Don't fall for it. Another thing that I saw, and it's crazy, I'm telling you, everything was coming to me. There was this girl that I was watching, and she shared something, and it had nothing to do with abortion. I mean, it was just like a life update or something like that. I had no clue it was going to be about abortion, but she ended up talking about it. how God spoke to her not to kill her baby. And I want to put this information out there because I feel like the enemy, all you hear nowadays is there's only one option. If you're scared, you don't have the money, you're in the wrong position, you're in school, you're successful right now, you're in a bad relationship. I mean, everything's looking bad. You lost your job, you don't have a car. Anything that the enemy wants to scare you with, you have options. That is not the only option. Is to kill your baby. Keep your baby and watch and see what God's going to do. God's going to prove it to you that the enemy's been lying to you and that that child that you're carrying is beyond blessed. Okay? It's so funny. I ran into this video and she was sharing there's this organization that it's called, and I want anybody just to check it out. Check it out and see if that's something that you're interested in. Um, the program is called Let Them Live. Okay, www.letthemlive.org. Okay, I was so shocked and so relieved and so happy that there's people out there like this that are helping. They help pregnant women if they find themselves in any bad situation. All you have to do is reach out to them, and it's not a scam, it's nothing like that. You go to them and they'll help you with your finances throughout your whole pregnancy. If you have no place to live, they will help you with your bills. They will help you with your car note. They will help you with anything that you need up until I think the month after your baby's born. And I think there was something they said, if you don't even have a place to live, if you don't have a car, they'll help you get it. They'll help you pay for it, right? So to me, I was just like so mind blown. I'm just like thanking God that there's still people out there that use their resources for good. They're using it for something that actually really matters, right? So I encourage anybody to look that up. And also there's this song that really came to my attention also because it was in the video too. I think I've heard of it before a long time ago, but I didn't really put enough attention to it. But when I saw it this time, it just like almost, brought me to tears. Um, there's a song called Can I Live? And it's by Nick Cannon, right? I know Nick Cannon doesn't have the best reputation right now, but in his story, he's showing you that his mom almost aborted him. And this is like an open letter pretty much to his mom. And it's he's reaching out to other women, sharing his testimony, right? So I encourage you, please go check those things out. If you are expecting, or you're thinking about having an abortion, I'm just begging you, please go check those things out and ask God to show you something about your baby that will just open your eyes. Don't be blinded, don't be tricked, don't be fooled by the enemy. Ask God to show you, and He will show you. Okay, so that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. Have a blessed night and a happy new year. Bye bye.